Mustache Watch, Navel Bottle. Do these words, when they're paired together, make sense to you? As we look at these lithographs today, please send us your comments about what you see when you look at them. You're hearing and seeing the birth of an object language that was birthed from Jean Arp. He was a revolutionary artist, and he wanted to create a language, a new language. And so Mustache Watch and Navel Bottle and all of these things are some of these titles that he's created for these lithographs. My name is Lynda Wilbur, and I'm manager of tour programs here at the Nasher Sculpture Center in Dallas, Texas. And these lithographs are part of an exhibit called The Nature of Art, which is going to be on view until January 6th. It includes sculptures, collages, reliefs, publications, and these lithographs. Jean Arp desired to collaborate with other artists, but also to create a new approach to art, one without boundaries. So before World War I, Arp was called Hans Arp because he was born in the Alsatian region of Germany. But after World War I, it became France. So he vacillated then between his French equivalent, Jean Arp, and his German birth name, Hans Arp. Part of this also created a difficulty for him to get his ideas across borders because of his German citizenship. So publications like the one that this portfolio appeared in, which was called MERS in 1923, allowed his ideas to go to not only to Cologne and Berlin, but also places like Paris. And that was exciting for him. The Dada movement that he and his colleagues started in Zurich in 1917 was in response to World War I. World War I was kind of created by nationalism and military leaders that brought most of Europe into what many thought was huge loss of life. 20 million people died during this war, and another 20 million were deeply affected. So as he and his colleagues got together, in a world where a war that didn't make sense, why not create art that also doesn't make sense? And so we see the language of Dada born. So Arp embraced humor and absurdity in his works, sometimes poking fun of the military leaders that created them being a part of this war. One of them was Kaiser Wilhelm II, the Emperor of Germany. Check out that handlebar mustache. Does it look like mine? He also poked fun of some of the male powers of power of that day. One of them was a shirt front. So we see in this ad, Shirtfront Fork. He created this and made a relief of it just the year before. So these lithographs are a response to some of the things that he was impacting with these reliefs. So when we look at these silhouettes, we're seeing these wonderful contours, but also these deep, saturated black areas that are not completely defined. We see here Mustache Watch, a hybrid of a watch, obviously in a mustache. We see mustache hat. We see the C, which is kind of obviously a C on its side. Here we have his things called the egg beater, which was similar to this in his time. We have the Arabic 8. We have the navel. And then over here we have Navel Bottle. So we're seeing some recurring themes. Obviously the navel, but in other works we see the torso and the bud. What do these have to do with the nature of art? So think about some of the operations of nature. Think about the navel. How do we get that? Well, we as humans and animals are born because we're in our mother's womb and we grow, and at the point of birth, that umbilical cord is cut. And so he likes to highlight those operations with some of these symbols in his work. Would you like to try your own hybrid? We invite you to send your own. Think about some things that maybe you wear, some signature hairstyle, shoes, some jewelry, or hair, or eyeglasses. Send us your hybrid. Look at things outside that you see, pine cones, leaves, trees. Try to take two of those ideas and combine them together to create your own hybrid. And if you've enjoyed today, we please invite you to come next Tuesday to listen to Catherine Kraft, the curator that not only conceived this, but coordinated this wonderful exhibit. Thank you for joining us today, and we wish you and yours a happy Thanksgiving.